Alright, let's dive straight into this. Episode 8 of The Gilded Age is shaping up to be one of the most explosive finales the show has ever delivered. And while everyone is busy talking about Bertha Russell's desperate push for recognition in London, there are hidden threads in this story that could completely reshape the power map of Season 4. Let's start with the most dangerous development, the attempted assassination of George Russell. Now, think about this carefully. The attack we saw in Episode 7 wasn't just a random outburst of labor violence. It felt orchestrated. Too precise. Too convenient. And if you trace the breadcrumbs, there's a chilling possibility here. George wasn't the target because of his railroad empire. He was the target because of who stands beside him. Bertha. That's right. What if Bertha Russell's rise in London has created enemies powerful enough to reach across the Atlantic? Think about it. Bertha stepping into Duchess. Level circles, threatening the balance between American and British elites. The moment she secures recognition in London, the Russell family no longer plays the new money game. They become a transatlantic dynasty. And that kind of shift doesn't just upset Mrs. Astor, it terrifies old-world aristocracy. So here's my theory: the attack on George wasn't simply about unions or disgruntled workers. It was a warning shot. A reminder to Bertha that every rung she climbs comes with blood on it. But that's not the only secret bubbling under Episode 8. Let's talk Marion Brooke. Everyone keeps framing her story as a romance plot, her love life a tug of war between independence and social expectation. But in the finale, Marion's rejection of Larry Russell could have catastrophic ripple effects. Why? Because it doesn't just hurt Larry, it undermines Bertha. Think about it. Bertha has fought tooth and nail to secure her children's futures in the highest tiers of society. Larry was her ticket to respectability through marriage. And when Marion shuts that door, she isn't just breaking Larry's heart, she's breaking Bertha's strategy. So here's where the theory sharpens: Marion's choice could push Bertha into making a dangerous alliance in London. An alliance that goes beyond love or reputation. An alliance built on survival. And if you think that's bold, wait until you hear the third thread: Ward McAllister. Everyone assumes his downfall is simply humiliation after the book scandal. But what if Episode 8 doesn't end with McAllister fading into obscurity? What if, stripped of Astor's protection, Ward decides to turn rogue? Imagine this: a man with intimate knowledge of every secret in New York's drawing rooms, suddenly bitter, desperate, and untethered. He doesn't just vanish. He becomes the weapon Bertha's rivals have been waiting for. Now let me ask you, what's more dangerous than a social climber? A fallen one. And I'll leave you with this chilling question for now. If Bertha Russell wins her crown in London, will it cost her George's life back home? If Episode 8 is the grand finale, then let's not fool ourselves. It's not just about Bertha Russell's ambition. It's about the collateral damage left in her wake. Let's start with Peggy Scott. On the surface, Peggy's arc looks like a classic struggle of a black woman fighting for her place in a white-dominated publishing world. But look closely. Every scene with Peggy this season has been about more than journalism. It's about exposure. She holds the pen that can shape reputations, topple power, and even rewrite social memory. Here's my theory. In Episode 8, Peggy will face a choice. Publish the truth about the attempted attack on George Russell, or bury it. If she publishes, she risks alienating her allies and stoking more violence. If she buries it, she protects the Russells but sacrifices her integrity. Either way, Peggy becomes more than a journalist. She becomes the silent hand guiding the narrative of Gilded Age New York. Now, let's pivot to a quieter, but equally dangerous figure: Oscar Van Rooyen. Oscar's story has been one of tragedy this season, with John Adams' death leaving him broken and drifting. But Episode 8 could plant the seeds of something much darker. Remember, Oscar isn't just a grieving lover, he's a Van Rooyen. He carries old money pride, resentment, and a thirst for relevance in a world that's starting to forget him. What if Oscar's grief curdles into vengeance? Against whom, you ask? Maybe not the Russells directly, but against society itself. Imagine Oscar forming alliances not out of love or status, but out of spite. A man who has nothing left to lose is far more dangerous than one who still has something to protect. And here's where it all comes together: Bertha in London. Think about the symbolism. Episode 8 doesn't just send her to London to flaunt gowns and tiaras. No. This is Bertha stepping onto a chessboard where every move risks toppling the balance between America's new money and Europe's old nobility. If she wins recognition, the Russell dynasty cements itself as untouchable. But if she fails, she could drag George's empire, and their entire family, down with her. And here's a forbidden angle no one is talking about. What if Bertha's triumph in London isn't her victory, but her trap? What if the British elite, smiling in her face, are actually tightening a noose around the Russells? A poisoned alliance that looks like prestige but hides ruin. Because let's face it, the Gilded Age isn't about happy endings. It's about deals made in smoke, filled rooms, friendships that last only until the champagne runs out, and power that always demands blood. So the question for episode 8 becomes this: will Bertha Russell walk out of London as a queen, or as a pawn that never saw the checkmate coming?